let us see one application of Kirchhoff's law, that is called Wheatstone bridge. So this is an application of Kirchhoff's law which is called Wheatstone bridge. This bridge has four resistances R1, R2, R3 and R4, and these are placed diagonally. So let us first see the diagram. What is the diagram of Wheatstone bridge? Then we will understand this. So here is the bridge. So this is bridge. So it has like this kind of a square structure, and on these square there are four resistances R1, R2, R3 and R4. This R1 and R4 are diagonally opposite, and these R2 and R3 are diagonally opposite. Now if you see the diagram, current in this R1 is I1, current in this R2 resistance is I2, current in this resistance R3 is I3, and current in last resistance R4 is I4. So this is our bridge. Now a galvanometer is connected between two ends diagonally opposite. So let us name this A, B, C and D. So this is our a square, this is our a square of resistances. Now galvanometer is connected between two diagonally opposite resistances at point B and D. Now further two ends at A and C there is a power source connected. This is epsilon, or a battery is connected. This battery is connected. So what is the construction of the bridge? We have four resistances R1, R2, R3 and R4. Currents in these resistance is I1, I2, I3 and I4. Between points B and D a galvanometer is connected, and between point A and C diagonally opposite points a source is connected. So this is the construction of our bridge. So now let us understand. So that is AC is called battery arm. So battery was connected at AC, so this is called battery arm. Between the other two vertices B and D a galvanometer is connected. We saw that galvanometer was connected between B and D. So this is called galvanometer arm. So we have two arms, galvanometer arm and battery arm. So these are two arms. Now let us solve the equations for this bridge. For simplicity we assume that cell has no internal resistance. So one assumption is small r is equal to 0. That means cell has no internal resistance. In the general there will be currents flowing in all the resistors as current in Ig. So what are the currents? In R1 current was I1, in R2 current was I2, R3 I3, R4 I4. Now current Ig is flowing in galvanometer, because galvanometer is also an electrical instrument. Some current flows into that as well. So that current is Ig. Now we are interested in a special case. What is that special case? It is called balanced bridge. Balanced bridge. When this bridge is balanced, current Ig becomes 0. So as we have seen this bridge, so there are currents I1, I2, I3 and I4, and this current Ig is in this galvanometer. There is one special condition: when bridge is called balance, this Ig becomes 0. Current in this galvanometer becomes 0. That is the special case we are interested in. So now let us see. So we can easily balance the condition such that there is no current through G. So we need this Ig is equal to 0. That means there is no current in G. In this case, the Kirchhoff's junction rule applies to current junctions D and B. So now let us apply Kirchhoff's junction rule to junctions B and D. So here we see that current I1 is coming. Okay, I1 is coming to junction D, and here current I3 is going from junction D. So and if there is a current which is going into galvanometer or coming into galvanometer. So current I1 is coming, current I3 is going away from junction. So either a current from galvanometer is coming or a current can be going to galvanometer. But for this balance case, we say that current Ig is equal to or must be equal to 0. So I1 is equal to Ig plus I3. But for balanced case, this current must be 0. So first condition is I1 is equal to I3. Similarly, I2 is the current going towards junction B. Same here, either a current is going towards this galvanometer G or a current coming through galvanometer G. Only thing that will change the sign, negative or positive. The current leaving the junction is this I4. So I2 is equal to Ig plus I4. Again, for balance condition, this Ig is equal to 0, I2 is equal to I4. So these are two conditions at the junctions point B and D for the balance bridge. So these are two conditions. Now let us apply Kirchhoff's second rule or what we call loop rule. So we have two loops here, ADBA. So ADBA, this is first loop. Second loop, CBDC. So there are two loops, this first loop and this second loop. So let us apply the loop rule in these loops. Okay. So what is the loop rule? So this is the condition so that we got for the balance bridge. Now let us apply this. So for this loop, this I1 R1, so minus I1 R1, this Ig was 0. So current Ig was 0, so this term becomes 0. Then this term here, see, we are moving like this, in this direction, then in this direction, this was 0 and here in this direction, but current is going opposite. So plus I2 R2, that is equal to 0. Here Ig was 0, so this second term becomes 0. Now similarly, now the second loop. Let us take the second loop. What is second loop? Second loop is this and this, like this. So in first case, current is in opposite direction, that means positive. So I4 R4. So what we have, I4 R4, but I4 is equal to I2. So I2 R4 in case of balance bridge. In that balance case, again Ig is 0, so this again goes to 0. Now we come to this line, this is I4 R4. So I4 was changed with this I2 R4, this becomes 0. Now this is in same direction. So this one is R3 I3 is equal to I1. So minus I1 R3, because we are going in the current direction. So if we are taking loop in current direction, that is a negative. So minus I3 R3 and I3 is equal to I1. So this is our second equation. So this is our second equation. So we have two equations from Kirchhoff's loop rule and these two conditions from Kirchhoff's junction rule. So these are two equations. Now when we solve these equations, so from here what we get? We get this I2 R2 is equal to I1 R1. From this we get I1 upon I2 is equal to R2 upon R1. This is get from this, or it is written here. Similarly, from this equation, take this I1 R3 opposite side. So what we get? I1 upon I2 is equal to R2 upon R3. This is condition from this equation. Now we have same thing, I1 upon I2 here, I1 upon I2 here. So balancing or equating the right hand side. So what we get? R2 upon R1, sorry, R2 upon R1 is equal to R4 upon R3. So this is the balance condition. This is the condition when bridge will become balanced. Now how can we use this condition? So to use this condition, what do we do? So here see, these R1 and R2 are some standard resistances. This R3 becomes the variable resistance. This R3 becomes the variable resistance, and this R4 is the unknown resistance. Again see, this R1 and R2 are standard resistances, R3 is a variable resistance, and this R4 is an unknown resistance. So what will happen from this condition? We see that R3 is equal to R3 R2 by R1. This is the condition from this. So what happened? So this resistance is unknown, that we want to know what is this. So R2 upon R1 is fixed, that we know, that is already fixed. If we keep on changing R3 till this current in this galvanometer is 0, as soon as current Ig in galvanometer is 0, that means bridge is balanced. This condition is satisfied. As soon as bridge is balanced, for let us say some value of R3, bridge is balanced. So at that value R, we already know R2 and R1, we can calculate R4 for that case.